Welcome to the Sex, Money, and Real Estate Podcast, the show for real estate couples about how to close more deals in the bedroom. My name is Bill Jameson.
And I'm Nancy Jameson.
And each week we deep dive into juicy, intentional, sexy conversations, sharing with you what it takes to create balance in your intimate relationships and your real estate business. Thank you so much for being here. Shall we begin?
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby.
What are you doing?
I'm playing with this doggy.
Oh, is that what that noise is? That little puppy in the background.
Yeah, if you all hear a little puppy dog in the background, well, that's because there's one here in our studio today.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So little Miss Chloe is here with us in studio, as is the famous Nina Edmonds, a superstar, rock star, superstar agent in the Atlanta area. So we'll get to Nina in just a little bit. She's sharing her breakdown, a breakthrough story today. But before we get started,
Yes.
I'm Bill.
What?
Oh, wait a
Come on,
minute.
baby.
I'm Nancy.
It is not opposite day. Is it Wednesday? When we were in grade school, Wednesday was always opposite day.
Mm-hmm. Or was that when you watched Jerry Seinfeld?
Oh, George, what
Yeah,
would
George
Costanza do?
Costanza's the opposite day.
That's
Right.
funny. That's funny.
Anywho, so I'm Nancy.
And I'm Bill.
And this is Sex, Money, and Real Estate Podcast, the show that gives realtors permission to believe the successful balance of their intimate relationship and business is not only possible, it's the jam.
Woo.
Yes, and so, that relationship begins with you. So when we say jam, we're talking about joyous, abundant, mature relationships. And, you guys know, Bill and I are agents and we're coaches. And this is our way, a very intentional way for us to share our story, our resources, experiences, tools, all the things for other mega agents and couples to increase their emotional financial peace. So that's what we're doing here.
Awesome, awesome. So a little housekeeping real quick. Please make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Leave us a 5-star review, please. And make it, and then share this podcast with a realtor that needs to hear this.
Yes.
You know somebody that needs to hear this.
Absolutely.
Referrals are our lifeblood.
Yes, that is true. Also, so that's our last request. We're in Atlanta, so if you have someone moving to Atlanta, then it would be awesome to work with them. We will treat them just like we treat our peeps. So.
Yes.
Awesome. So we start off every episode with magic, and we define magic as the ability to influence ourselves, others, and life in an empowering way.
Yeah, because you can definitely influence people in a disempowering way, yet we prefer to focus on how you're influencing yourself, others, in life in an empowering way. So that could look like gratitude or appreciation or, getting that VIP parking spot at the grocery store. They're pulling out, you're pulling in, things like that. So do you?
Before we get going with magic, though,
Yes.
I would love to hear Nina's voice on the mic.
Oh, okay. All
Hi,
right.
Nina.
Hi, Nina.
Hi.
Nina, how many podcasts have you done so far?
This is my first one.
Oh, my
Awesome.
gosh.
Ever.
Awesome. Very
That's
cool.
Awesome. Thank you for being courageous and brave and coming to hang out with us. That's awesome, for sure. So as you know, and you've hung out with us before, we share magic.
Yes.
And I'm kind of wondering, what's come up in your life today or this week or the past month that is magical for you?
Oh, I have so much magic, but I'm just going to pick a couple of things. I just came back from going to Turkey.
Oh, that's
That was
cool.
magical. First time going to Europe / the Middle East.
Wow.
Longest flight of my life.
Yeah.
Just came back from Vegas as well for a real estate training seminar thing. So
Cool.
that was awesome as well.
Awesome.
And yeah, I've got Chloe here with me, and that's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
My
Very cool.
little
Awesome. So it definitely sounds like a lot of traveling too.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Very cool. Good for you taking the time out, and refreshing and replenishing and doing the things.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. What's your magic, babe?
You know what my magic is? How fast I'm healing from that hernia surgery.
Okay.
I had as you all know, if you've listened to the podcast, which I know you have, I had hernia surgery only a few weeks ago, and I did get the okay to start getting back into my activities, and I'm feeling really great about my runs again already. And I thought like maybe doing abs or some other things were going to be challenging, and I got into a full workout today. I was sweating, and it felt great to be back. So
it was a great workout too.
it was amazing. So super happy about that. Super happy to have the hernia taken care of, and getting back to life as usual. It's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So my magic is the latest listing that we just listed yesterday. And so you guys know, I mean, you're experienced agents. And so when you get, when you get all of the phone calls, so the property listed and then all the phone calls start coming in like 2 minutes after the thing is listed. It was one of those situations where I actually didn't see the email come in where Jennifer said, hey, the property's listed, and the phone calls started coming in to request showings. And so now, the showings are all booked up for Friday, half a Saturday. We have the open house on Sunday.
Right.
So y'all know in this market that thing's going to go into multiple offers. So I'm super excited. It couldn't happen for a nicer set of amazing people and friends. And I'm just really excited for them. So who knows? Maybe we'll get some buyers off of that too.
Yes.
You know?
You never know.
And it comes full circle. Okay, cool. So what are we talking about today?
We're talking about Nina. We're talking about Nina Edmonds.
All right. Awesome. So Nina represents buyers and sellers throughout the Atlanta metro area with outstanding award-winning service, providing solutions and delivering results. Nina's stellar career includes years of luxury-driven service, helping clients achieve their dreams by recognizing opportunities and taking action. Do you know how I know that? Because I've been Nina's coach for the last couple of years, and I can vouch for her 100%. So the other really great, awesome thing about Nina, and there are many, but this one I just wanted to highlight, was that Nina was born and raised in Harlem, New York City, and she's definitely bounced around the South in places like Atlanta, Orlando, Austin. Ultimately, thankfully, prayerfully, she chose to live in the Peach State, and she's here with us live in our studio. And then, of course, she brings Chloe. She's a new puppy mom, and Chloe's here, and she's adorable. She just posed for the camera if you guys are watching on YouTube, so it's awesome. So, Nina, we're so inspired that you're here, so thank you for having us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm really, really excited to be here.
Beautiful. So again, so our breakdown to breakthrough stories are all around your breakdown to breakthrough. So it could be, your story can be whatever your story is. And, I happen to have been living life with you for the last couple of years. So I definitely know some of the stories, but, you can jump in, give context, give emotions to set the scene. Like, you can start from wherever you wanted to start. I would say, I don't know, maybe not at age 5, but but if you wanted, just really wherever. So if it's about real estate, or if there was some impetus that created the intention or inspiration to get into real estate, or, you do share a hospitality background with Bill and I. So that was a beautiful commonality for us as well. So just, really, you start wherever you want to start. And we're interested in hearing the circumstances, the tools, the resources that you utilize to move through those circumstances. And then, honestly, what's true for you now as you reflect back on the experience. So, but you go, and then we'll take you through it.
So, I guess I'll kind of start just a little bit on my journey into real estate. I was working in hotels, and I was working for a 5-star, 5-diamond hotel. I was a restaurant manager, room service manager, everything food and beverage.
Yep.
And I happened to have a connection on LinkedIn with a young lady named Aquana, and I just saw like how happy she looked, and everything she was posting was so positive. And I was like, what do you do? And she's like, oh, I'm a real estate broker. And I was like, what is that? So being from New York, at least for me, buying real estate is really taboo, because most of the people that I know, and they still do, rent. So to buy a piece of real estate is kind of abnormal. So when she said she sold real estate, I didn't understand what she meant by that.
That's interesting.
So she had a conversation with me and told me like about what she did and said, you'd be great at it. I said, you think so? I know nothing about selling real estate. And that kind of, that conversation kind of led into me joining Keller Williams, which is where I met you all. And so, you know, Keller Williams gives you tons of great training, and they also pair you up with coaches. And so I had a couple coaches before I got with Nancy, but Nancy was a very intentional choice when I was able to make that decision for myself. And so I had chose Nancy because I was like, I want balance and I want to take listings. And you guys were putting so many listings on the market back to back. And I was like doing all the open houses. And I was like, I gotta work with her. And I don't know if I had any sales at the time when I requested to work with Nancy, but or with you. And I was like, I'm determined. I can do this. Mm-hmm. So I finally got the opportunity to get on your calendar and coach with you. And I think it might have been like 2 or 3 months, and I still didn't have any sales. And I was like, man. And you were like, Nina, you got to get, what did you say? You got to get some numbers on the scoreboard. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you are so right. And it just woke me up. And then from there, that's when I kind of started, you know, getting my wheels turning and closing some deals. So that's kind of the beginning portion of my journey, and it's just been growth from there.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let me pause you right there. Mm-hmm. So you were still working at Ritz-Carlton, or you had stopped?
So I was working at Four Seasons.
Oh, Four Seasons. Excuse me.
It's okay. And yes, I was actually dual career when I started working with you.
Wow.
And then once we got my wheels turning, the next year, Easter, I had the opportunity, or I was kind of thrust into full time. So, which was a great, at first it was like, oh my gosh, but you know, I was still coaching with you, and that made it so much better to transition from dual career to a full-time agent.
Mm-hmm. And then what happened?
I think that I don't know, I started closing some deals, and I was like, wow, this is possible. And so I think I had like, you know, a 30,000, then I doubled it the next year with you. And it was just like the volume was going up and the referrals were going up, and you were teaching me about really, feeding the golden goose, and really pouring into me first. And then that started attracting, so much business to me and so many referrals, where it was like, oh my gosh, like I just will wake up and someone would think about me with real estate. And I may not have even called them. It may just been me posting on social media or anything like that. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. What would you like? What kind of advice or recommendation would you say to someone getting into real estate?
That's really good. When I first got into real estate, I had a different coach, and that coach said, oh, you know, what do you want to make? And I didn't know any better. So, you know, everybody else was saying 6 figures. So I said 6 figures, right? Yeah. Mind you, I had never made 6 figures in my life. So I think when I didn't hit that, and I was very far away, I think I had made $5,000 in 1 year versus the 6-figure mark that I had set for myself. So for me, I feel like if you're going to transition from your full-time job to doing real estate full-time, it's great to have, you know, these amazing long goals, but I feel like you should set a goal of at least matching or maybe slightly above what your current career is. Yeah.
That's so smart.
So in my career, I think I was making maybe like 55,000. Mm-hmm. So I think, and we had this conversation too. She said, you know, because I said, I think you probably asked me too, like, how much money do you want to make? I'm like, oh, maybe 150. And you're like, well, how much did you make in your current job? And I'm like, I think I'm at 50,000 or something. Mm-hmm. She's like, well, we've got to raise your financial thermostat. So let's start with matching what you earned before, and then continue to raise that, which is exactly what we did, because I remember you made me fill out this great sheet, And our goal was, Nina, let's go for, I think it was $12,000 a month. You were like, let's start there. And I was like, $12,000 a month? I'm like, I only would make like $3,000 or $4,000 a month. How in the world am I gonna 4 times or 3 times that amount? That just doesn't make sense. And that's, I think, when we broke it down like that, it really helped me understand that, oh, okay, so to make what I made in my last job, I just need to sell one house, you know?
Yeah, 1 or 2. Right?
One or two, right? And so that's where we started. And it turned into one house a month, you know, and then that has grown into more houses a month. And so now it's like, oh, $12,000 a month. I'm like, that should be the norm. It should be the minimum. Like I should not go a month without making $10,000 or $12,000 a month.
Yeah.
So
It'll set off an alarm.
But we had to start somewhere, and we started at a point I feel like that made sense for me. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's one piece of advice: is set realistic goals.
Okay.
Wait, there's more. There's more. I forgot. There's more. Set realistic goals that make sense for you, not trying to match everyone else's exterior. So just because someone else says, you know, they want to make 150 or 200,000, it's okay if you want to match. Maybe you made 30,000, which is what I made my first half of a year as a full-time real estate agent, was 30,000, which was great because it only took me half a year to make almost half of what I made in my regular job.
Yeah.
So that's first tip. Second tip is get a coach. And get a coach that inspires you. Don't settle. Because I think, you know, when I first got to Keller Williams, they kind of just pair you with any coach and, you know, you kind of go through the motions with them. But for me, I took control of my growth. Yeah. And one day I said, no, I want to select my coach, and I want to select the coach that inspires me. And that's okay. Yeah. To have that conversation with your broker, and make it happen.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's awesome.
Great advice.
I think
Great
that's
advice.
It is.
So it's set realistic goals, get a coach, and always keep a coach, always have a coach. And then I think the last thing for me is, to not be afraid to make mistakes. And that I was just listening actually to a Zoom prospecting call training where they talked about, you know, think about the baseball player that makes the most home runs, or think about the basketball player that makes the most free throws, or think about the football player that makes the most. They've had to fail quite a bit to get the most shots.
Right.
So I think about that, and I'm like, you've got to take a lot of shots, and yes, you're going to get a lot of rejection, which I do, but that's how you're going to break through and get the most business or deals or whatever it is you're trying to achieve.
Yes, absolutely.
So those are my 3.
I love it. Well, and if you think of anything else, you know, feel free to you know, come back to that question, because it's important. I mean, there's a lot of agents that are moving from a career into being a business owner, right? And then there's a lot of agents, even though they're an agent, they're still in that that sales mentality and have an opportunity to make the shift into being a business owner, like thinking about their business as a business. So any of these things are very relatable, and I agree 100%. So you had mentioned before about the not being afraid to fail, you know, like essentially it's embracing the failure, embracing the feedback. And that's how we think of failure, is that it's simply feedback, you know, just showcasing to you, okay, well, maybe this time you don't try it like this, maybe you do it like this. And that is the attunement to, you know, creating the trajectory of manifestation and business owner. So I am curious about if there's something that comes up when you say, like what's an experience in which you feel like maybe you did fail, or you were like, oh yeah, no, I need to do this over again, and then you created a different outcome as a result of shifting, attuning, aligning, and then going for it?
Okay, great. A good example, I think, of where I felt like I fell short or failed, and could make more improvement will probably have to be, darn, that's hard. I don't know. We could take today, actually, right? So I'm a prospector. I cold call. I call expireds and just listed, just sold, and occasionally I may call some for sale by owners. But mostly I live right in the expireds.
Yep.
I've been so focused on prospecting that I forget, there's some tools that I need to have. And even though I've been selling real estate, but I've just now been getting more and more listings, that I actually have to have some things prepared so that I can actually secure the business.
Yeah, the listing.
And so one of those things is called a pre-listing package. And I've been delaying and procrastinating on putting this together. And so typically, I'm trained to send a pre-listing package. We try to send it 24 hours in advance.
Yeah.
I sent it maybe 4 hours in advance. So I'd say that's like an opportunity where I fell a little bit short, where I didn't prepare better. It doesn't mean that I'm like, the worst agent in the world. It just, I went and made 4 pre-listing packages and said, okay, for the next 3, I know I'm going to have what I need. So I learn, especially coaching with you, like not to beat myself up so bad, because sometimes we're our worst critic. Sure. I might get to this appointment and he's going to just, be flawed that I even sent something in advance.
Right.
He's not worried that I sent it 4 hours ago and instead of 24. He has no idea what my standards or my system are. Hey, Chloe. She's like, all right, I want to talk.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an opportunity of like, okay, I could improve by maybe either having more printed out in advance, or getting this done in the evening when no one is really needing me for anything.
Sure.
So that's I guess a little example of where I could have improved as far as my systems are concerned. Mm-hmm. But there's going to be so many learning opportunities. There's so many learning opportunities when it comes to working for yourself. You're always figuring stuff out. You're like, does this make sense? Should I post this? So I've learned to just do the best you can, and learn from it, and do it better next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and again, I mean, that's the feedback loop. That's what Ray Dalio talks about, where it's the feedback loop, or it's the circumstance, and how do you manage the circumstance? Mm-hmm. And so what we talk a lot about is when those circumstances happen, whether it's life or business or clients or Chloe or any of those things, like, you turning internally for inspiration and motivation, and it's you having the horsepower to handle those circumstances. So back to taking care of the golden goose.
Right.
What do you think are, like, what's your experience of those self-care practices in relationship to balancing your full life with business?
So I can sometimes be, So I can definitely practicing, those habits of just pouring into Nina, like 10 breaths, or drinking water, going to sleep early. Like there's just a bunch of them that you can do, and it makes you feel good because you did something for yourself. Because especially when you're working for yourself and you're providing a service, you're getting called left and right, and email left and right, and text messages, and everybody wants everything right now. Mm-hmm. And it's important to remember that, yes, you're important, but so am I. And right now I have this going on, but I will get back to you like as soon as I'm free. Yeah. And the point, and I love saying the word, I'm in an appointment. Mm-hmm. I'm always in an appointment. So, and the appointment could be, I'm taking a nap,
or it's an appointment with you.
The
right.
appointment is me taking care of me.
Right? Taking care of me. No one needs to know exactly what I'm doing in that appointment. It could be that maybe I'm taking a mental break. Maybe I'm listening to music that calms me, whatever it is. So, I think there's a direct correlation when it comes to those habits and pouring into you, because, the rest of the world, they just want stuff from you. So you got to take a minute, for yourself.
Yeah, to recharge, deposit into yourself so that you can present your best self, and you're presenting yourself from a cup that runneth over, not from a depleted cup, you know? And so here comes those deposits, and that's what we talk about, emotionally depositing into yourself so that you can provide a service at a very high level. I mean, you know.
Yeah, if your cup runneth over, then other people can drink from it too.
Yes.
So that's beautiful.
Absolutely.
So what are like one or two of those habits that really refresh you, revive you? A couple of your favorites that you either daily or weekly that you do for yourself.
So this is gonna sound funny, but I had gotten a sauna membership, and I was paying like $100 a month, and then I was like, you know, I'm buy this sauna blanket so I can do it in my house in my own time. So one of my little habits is every so often I will sit in my sauna blanket for like 30 minutes, and maybe I'll put on like, you know, a training, or I'll just have silence and take a nap or something like that. So that's like a me thing where I'm like, I put the dog in the living room, close the door, phone is off, and I just sit in my little sauna blanket and sweat off some calories while being to myself for 30 minutes. Epsom salt baths are fun. Detox Epsom salt baths are nice me time things where I light all the candles and I just relax.
That's awesome.
So those are probably, and then drinking water, like trying to drink at least a half a gallon of water, carrying my little water bottle and hitting that mark. Those are probably the big ones that stick out.
That's coming from a person who used to drink a lot of soda, right?
No, I never drank soda, but I drank a lot of juice, and I was never drinking a ton of water. And then I bartended for a long time, so I used to drink a lot. So, yeah, I don't drink much anymore like that.
Cool. Great. Awesome. Okay. How are you feeling? Do you have any questions for us? Do you have anything you want to share?
No, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good. I'm nervous, but I'm excited at the same time.
Awesome. Very cool. Did you have any questions for Miss Nina?
What is your biggest challenge right now?
Oh, man. Biggest challenge is time management.
Okay.
Say more.
Yeah. I think as you get busier, or as you as you get busier, and as you grow more, you're learning more. I'm in the middle of a lot of shifting, changing, new environments, new people, new systems. Time management has been a challenge for me. So I've got an exercise going on where I've done this with you actually, where I'm just trying to write down every hour what I'm doing so I can figure out where I have opportunities at. Every day is not perfect, but I always have to remember, because I follow the Mike Free system, that every day you start at 0. So yes, I may have dropped the ball today, but tomorrow I have a new day where I can start over. So time management is probably where I have the most opportunity.
Cool. Okay. Is there anything we can do to support you with that?
I just have to, and it's funny, we had this conversation early on. Like, I just have to decide, you know, I remember, like, decide that, you know, prospecting time is important, or X, Y, and Z can wait, or maybe doing it at night versus putting it off, and then now it's like on my plate in the morning. So just kind of making better decisions with my time.
Yeah, working with those, what are the big rocks and what are the things that can fill in. So, and the other thing I would add is, you know, where can you leverage your time?
Right, which I'm really learning how to do, especially with all the traveling that I've done. I've definitely been relying on some great agents that I worked with at Keller Williams to really help me when it comes to showing my clients properties. So that has helped a lot. And just learning how much money you make an hour if you prospect. So maybe not running out to show every single buyer immediately and leveraging that off to somebody who may live closer to the house they want to see, or that is more available than me. Just keeping that in mind when I have clients that say, I want to see this house and this house and this house. So work at the end of the year, I do have a goal 30 transactions. And then when I hit 30 transactions, I said, I'm going to get an admin. So when I get those 2 things, it's going to get better and better.
Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Last question. Who are the 5 people you would like to speak gratitude to?
All right. So I'll start with my mom. So I like to give gratitude to my mom because she has always allowed me to make my own decisions and has never pushed me to do anything I didn't want to do. And so she's always been supportive. Of course, she's a mom. You know, she was definitely scared of real estate. She was like, I don't understand why you would work without an hourly salary. But she understands now that it's okay. So gratitude to my mom. Gratitude to my friend Laquana, who even talked to me about real estate. Didn't even know what that was. So I appreciate her sharing her time. Gratitude for Cara Epstein. She was one of the reasons how I got my license, because I met her 6 months before I got licensed, and she held my hand the entire way. You, Nancy, right, and Bill, for taking a chance with me, because you know certain coaches have different requirements, sales volume requirements, and I did not meet that requirement. True. And I think it was awesome that you took a chance with me, to coach me, to be able to be where I'm at. Mm-hmm. How many people was that?
That was 4.
So I got one more person.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Who is gonna be the last person? That's a good one. The last person. I'm just gonna say God, right? Or me?
Okay. Could be you. Could
Okay.
be
Yeah.
God.
Gratitude to. She's like, I'm good.
She's like, what about me, Mama? What
I know. Gratitude. Gratitude to me, because you know it has been a long journey for me, and I'm still learning, and I'm just grateful that every day I get a new day to be a better version of myself than yesterday. So
yes, absolutely. And you can absolutely give gratitude to God too.
Oh yeah, gratitude to God. Because I wouldn't be here without him. And I feel like, you know, every time I have a positive thing that happens, I'm always like, God, I'm so grateful, like that I'm able to have someone call me today and ask me about a real estate, you know, need, even if it's not here for Atlanta. It could be anywhere, you know. So I'm definitely grateful that I'm on people's minds and people believe in me and encourage me. So I'm always grateful to God for that.
Yes, absolutely. Awesome. All right. So where can people connect with you?
I think Instagram is probably the best way.
Okay.
My Instagram is just at Ms. Nina E, and that's MIZZNINAE.
Nice. Awesome. Okay, cool. And then last thing, Nina kept referencing the habits that she's doing. And so we play on the app called the Your Day Balance Game, or the YDBG, and you can find that on iOS or Android. And so certainly go download it, install it, sign up, follow me, follow Bill, follow Nina, and come and check out how we fill our cups, how we deposit and into ourselves, which allows us to provide amazing white glove service for our clients and have stellar businesses. And really what it's all about is that extraordinary life experience. And throughout this, I have heard your extraordinary life experience, like the life that you are literally creating on your own terms. And I just really appreciate you being so courageous. And you are a tremendously amazing woman, very coachable, and I have such high regard for you and your discipline and your will to prospect through even the most challenging of times.
Yes.
And that's probably my most my memory of you and your breakdown, the breakthrough moment is you kept at it when the chips were down, and you are reaping the results of all of your hard work right now, and it's just really amazing to watch. So I appreciate being a part of your journey.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. So, all right. I mean, do you have any other questions, babe? You feel complete?
I am complete, and I just wanted to say thank you and give gratitude for you being here, Nina, again as well, because you're amazing. I mean, you're just an amazing woman. So thank you for blessing us with this, with your time today.
Yes, absolutely. If you guys have any questions or want to reach out to Bill or myself, feel free to email us at sexmoneyrealestate@gmail.com. Of course, we're on Facebook and Insta at Sex Money Real Estate. And then, old man Google knows where we are. So, Chloe, would you like to say anything? Any closing words, sweetheart? Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys. And we'll see you on the other side.
Yes.
Bye.
Peace.
Wow, what a show. Thank you so much for listening. And if you're inspired, we ask that you share the podcast with one person and subscribe and follow the show. I'm Bill Jameson.
And I'm Nancy Jameson.
And remember, it's
a great life. Quick note about the Sex, Money, and Real Estate podcast. We are not doctors or licensed therapists. We are a joyous, abundant, and mature couple passionately sharing our story of growth around sex, money, and real estate. Our thoughts, opinions, and beliefs are our own, so please consult your doctor, healthcare provider, or your broker regarding any questions or issues you have related to your physical or mental health or specific state laws regarding your real estate business.